Yes.
31st.
Rabbi Levitt, you can absolutely hear me, correct?
100%.
Okay, we're doing a Horeb, and may I ask what time the shear starts?
It starts when it starts.
Oh, how about ballpark?
10:45.
And is a follow-up right after of Bava Metzia, correct? 15-minute break.
We take for that too. Take a break for that too. So it's like 10:02.
Okay. Forgive me. I will one day join the adult table, but for now I just want to know what time to join the kiddie table. Thank you.
No problem. Okay, so let's see here. We are holding, we did mezuzah, we did Bechor, we didn't finish Bechor. We're in the middle of Bechor. We're in the middle of, oh, here it is. Thought I put this in here. We're up to 293. Section 293, which is on page 191 in Sefer Horeb. You got a Sefer, Rafal Aryeh? Okay, great.
No.
Oh, so, okay. Fine.
I've got
So
a lot. I've got everybody to read for me, though.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so in that case, we will ask Lou to start off the reading.
Okay, just want to mention, Rabbi, Roy's wife is in the hospital.
Oy.
She had some kind of a problem with her heart, and they're considering giving her a pacemaker.
They're considering?
Yeah, he's not sure if they're going to give her a pacemaker or not.
Ah.
And her name is Hannah Bas Shandel.
1 second.
You know his name? The other person. Same guy.
Hannah Bas Shandel. Okay. Fua Shlema. Okay. We're going to put it right up here on the screen. So we remember. There we go. Hannah Bas Shandel. Okay. Okay. Fua Shlema, Fua Sanefesh, Fua Sakuf, Pesok Shach, Holy Yisrael. Amen. Okay. So we're up to 293. Yes. Yeah, so yesterday we did up to 293, of course, and we discussed the fact that Rev Hirsch mentioned that he talked about something called the hour of deliverance, and he painted a tremendous, amazing, engaging picture. Imagine Klal Yisrael on the day that they're leaving Mitzrayim, the last glimpse, he says. This is at the end of section 293, when they're leaving. They're leaving Egypt, and if they would look back, they Israel are a new nation. They're young in bloom, and they're looking back on this old nation of Egypt, which was mighty in its devices and rich in numbers, and they're mourning right now the crushing of its most beautiful living blossoms, the Bechoros, that they actually worshipped. And this is all as a result of not recognizing Hashem and out of their disobedience in not sending out Klal Yisrael. these are the ideas that Rav Hirsch is evoking in the mitzvah of Bechor. And with that, we're going to continue. 293. Okay.
Let us remain firm in the belief, and let us cling to the thought that from Mother Earth to the life which is dearer to us than our own, the life of our children, everything belongs to Hashem, everything emanates from Hashem, and is always in the hands of Hashem. If everything is regarded in this light and is treated in this sense, then will everything in the work of man presented to him by God as a means to an end become verdant and blossom forth into a divine garden, into a divine sanctuary. But if in his folly man clasps things with an iron hand, proclaiming a chilling, "They are mine," and maltreats them and takes advantage of them, indulges himself with them, dissipates them to suit his own presumptiveness, then will the bloom fade, the sanctuary become desecrated, and life and its beautiful flowering silk sink into the grave extinct.
Wow. Look what Rav Hirsch is saying over here.
Alan should be trying to come in, by the way.
Yes, Alan. Oh, here's Mayor. He was blocked by some something from Zoom. Okay, see the participants. Oh, I see Alan fell out now. I remember clicking him in. Okay. Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning, Rabbi.
We're on 191, Mayor.
Okay, thank you.
So this is what Rav Hirsch says, that we have to reinforce and reinforce and continually to reinforce. One of the things that require constant chizik, to recognize that everything comes from Hashem. Everything emanates from Hashem and is always in the hands of Hashem. Everything is biyad Hashem, hakol bidei shemayim, like the Gemara says. And everything belongs to Hashem. And our life, and even that which is dearer to us than our own lives, he says. What's dearer to us than our own lives? He says is the life of our children. That's even more dear to us than our own life. And it all belongs to Hashem, and it all comes from Hashem, and it's in the hands of Hashem. And if we can be successful in living with those yesodos, those foundational principles of Emunah, so then he says, everything in what man does, and everything which is presented to him by Hashem as a means to an end, not sure exactly what he means by that, become verdant and blossom forth into a divine garden, into a divine sanctuary. Everything that he does is a divine garden, and everything that happens to him is a divine sanctuary. Everything is like the Gemara says, and the Shulchan Aruch says, that you got it, that he paskes it lalacha. Chayav Adam loima kol de Ovid Rahman l'tav Ovid. The person is required to say, everything Hashem does is for the best. But then he says frightening words. If in his folly, man grabs things with an iron hand, he proclaims a chilling, they are mine, they belong to me. And he treats them not in the right way, and he takes advantage of them, and he indulges himself. So then the sanctuary is desecrated, and life itself sink into the grave extinct. Wow. So this is the importance of always reinforcing in ourselves these principles of Emunah. Okay. Let's go further. And we'd like to call upon Mayor now. Mayor, that was just 293.
Okay.
And now we go to 294. Wow, I see Rav Hirsch, he's going on and on at length about the mitzvah of Bechor. This is all contained in his discussion about the mitzvah of Bechor. This is what Bechor is about.
Okay, very good. So let's see. Okay, 294. So it is with anything that we possess, but above all, with the grandest of our possessions, and thank God, also the dearest which man can have, the child. If you regard the daughter entrusted to you and the son entrusted to you as sacred charges, whom you should bring up not for yourself, but for God, so that they may become a worthy daughter in Israel and a worthy son in Israel. If you allow this thought to dominate your whole treatment of your children, their upbringing, their protection in body, in heart, and in mind, their education, their vocational training, their complete equipment for their future living, then indeed will you achieve God's blessing, and you will raise through your sons and your daughters true men and women in Israel, imbued with God's Spirit, endowed with God-given strength to lead a holy life as man and Israelite. I went to the right page, right? Yeah, I think so. Or maybe not.
Yes,
Correct.
that was correct.
Well, okay. Okay. Sorry about that. If, however, you rave over your children, they are mine, and where you should behold them as human, and in addition Jewish offspring, you see instead your daughter as a future housewife or businesswoman, or as an attractive beauty, and with wit or brilliant in her knowledge, as one who should be a source of support and joy and honor for you. Or especially in the case of your son, if instead of educating him for the one all-embracing purpose connoted in the designation man and Israelite, Mensch Yisrael, I guess that's a Yiddish, Israel man, you seek only a mercenary.
German, actually, I think.
Oh, it could be.
Because this was originally written in German.
Oh, okay. Oh, it wasn't Yiddish?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Because mensch is usually you're a mensch is
Yeah. That's Yiddish is
part
based on
German.
German.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I think so.
Very good. So mensch Yisrael, You seek only a mercenary dividend in your efforts for him, and bear in mind only the designations: businessman, craftsman, artist, scholar, and you allow all the sublime that is connoted by the term man and Israelite to be superseded by commercial terms. And please do not speak of the heavenly blessing of children, of parental reward in their children's well-being. Speak rather of heavenly curse and of parental sin against children. You have destroyed the title Israelite in the child. You can apply these thoughts both to the noblest of your possessions and to those which may be of least concern to you. And may the lesson of the survival of your people help you to decide wisely in your choice between the curse and the blessing.
Alan is sending me emails asking to be let in.
I don't see him listed as participants. He's not here. He fell out. As I say, he was the first one for me to click in, but I don't see him.
All right, I'll send him a message that he should try again.
Sorry he's having such trouble. I don't know why. Sometimes he gets in very well, and other times I don't know. Doesn't get in, or falls out even if he does. I don't know you there. Okay. Another paragraph, another section. He's continuing with this very scary and stark dividing line between what he calls curse and blessing. And I'm just trying to figure out in words what is the difference between when he does it in the right way and he does it in the wrong way. How do we for me the paragraph was one long sentence, and it was a bit difficult to follow. But I noticed that in both cases, he's like, let's take the first thing that he says, which was on the Tzad Tov, with that he's bringing up he's talking about bringing up children. This is what he's talking about. This is the included in the matter of the Bechor. The Bechor he's the head of the next generation. So this is what he says, that with anything that we possess, but above all, our greatest possessions is and the dearest that we have is our children. So that's what he says. If we regard our children as we're entrusted with them as a sacred charge to watch over and to guard and to nurture with the he mentions everything that they need, the education, and he also mentions vocational training, right? That they should work and completely equipped for their future living. Then indeed you will achieve Hashem's blessing. And you're raising them with Hashem's blessing, and and they'll be. But what does he say? On the other hand, the other side is that you regard your children as they are mine. But it's what I noticed was he seems to be saying the same thing, that you're raising them. You're calling. It's a very it's all they're not you're not raising them to be the mensch Yisrael. That you're not raising them, I guess, is all I see is the difference. You look at them as businessmen, craftsmen, artists, scholar, but you don't look at them as and they could be all of those things, but you don't look at them and strive to create in them to be the mensch Yisrael, whether they be a daughter, whether it be a son. So then that's the then there's the chas v'sholom, not good. That's what he says in the end. That's what he concludes with. You have destroyed the title Israelite in the child. If you're just going to raise them, even if you educate them in Torah, and they are a scholar, if you regard them as a person, as a German, but you don't regard them as a mensch Yisrael, a person who is a Yisrael, who's and it's the fulfillment of Hashem's entrusting to you this child to carry on the sacred charge of being a mensch Yisrael. That's we always have to keep in mind that in addition to the fact that we are human beings, that we are Yisrael, and all that entails. Okay, maybe he'll explain it more now. I mean, obviously, we're talking about the performance of Torah and mitzvahs. He didn't say anything that they're not doing Torah and mitzvahs, right? So it's a very fine balance what he seems to be talking about over here. How a parent views his child. Okay, 295, and back to Lou.
Now, since you have learned life's real meaning by the lesson of Egypt's downfall as a result of its presumptuousness and perverseness, and from your own ever-flourishing growth due to your complete surrender to Hashem, you should proclaim it aloud and by patient and overt deed become imbued with it yourself. Thus, every child in Israel and everything held in Israel is consecrated by Hashem and is Hashem's own. It is only by the grace of Hashem that you have a right to anything, and so it is His will alone that should be the law unto you in your treatment of all that exists, living and inert. You give practical expression to this thought in the first and finest of what you possess, either by dedicating it to Hashem, i.e., you withdraw it from its customary usage and devote it entirely to such purpose as is designated to secure reverence for Hashem amid Israel. For Israel is a holy people and a kingdom of priests. Or two, at you, as it were, by yourself the right to use it for your own purposes by redeeming it from its original intent. Or three, you render it impossible for your use by destroying it.
Wow.
Alan says he's trying again to get in.
Okay, I still don't see him in the participants list. Is there? It's he should. Let's see. He's trying to get in. That
Yeah, the message was within the last minute, so it's he's trying again. Apparently,
um. I got a few things on my screen over here. Okay, but I don't. Usually he's. I don't know. I don't see him. I don't see him yet. I'll try to put on the. Okay. I don't know. That doesn't sound good.
no, it's not good. He probably needs to get help from his son. I don't know if his son is with him today.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. We'll have to see what if somebody can help him. Yeah. All right.
I sent him a link, so he should have the latest link.
Okay. So maybe he'll be Ezra Hashem. He'll be appearing very soon.
Yeah, he may be using the wrong link. He may be confused. I don't know.
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. So I don't know what to say about this paragraph over here. um yeah, we just it he says over here at the end, you give practical expression to this thought. What was the thought? The thought was that you proclaim every child in Israel and everything held in Israel is consecrated by Hashem, and it's Hashem's own. It's only by the grace of Hashem that you have a right to anything, and so it's with His will alone that should be the law unto you in your treatment of all that exists. And so therefore he says, you give practical expression to that thought that we just got through saying in the mitzvah. I think he's referring to the mitzvah of what's it called? The Pidyon Ben. We call it Pidyon Ben. And then he describes he says this is really what it's all about. The first and finest of what you possess, that's your firstborn son. Number one, you dedicate him to Hashem. You withdraw. He says it because he's not. It sounds like he's not just talking about your firstborn son. That's just an example of the first and the finest of what you possess. Maybe he's referring to other things as well. That really it should be dedicated to Hashem, because like he said before, you only have it because of Hashem, and so it should be withdrawn from its what its normal mundane usage would be, and it should be devoted to Hashem. Like if we had such a thing today, we would declare our property sanctified and donate it to the Beis Hamikdash, to make something hektish. And so therefore it will be devoted entirely to Rav Hirsch says entirely to usage by for dedicating it to Hashem. That would be to make it hektish. And so really that's what the firstborn son is all about. He's really kodesh, Hashem. So what do? We do a pidyon. We so to speak, we redeem him. Just like if you would donate your house to the Beis Hamikdash, right? Now it becomes hektish. Now you say, 1 second, really, I can't really do that. I gotta live in my house, and I gotta, I can't have it be donated to Beis Hamikdash. So what do? You go and you redeem it. You have to do a pidyon. So you have to pay a certain amount, the chomesh, whatever it is, and you redeem it. And now the house goes out from being owned by hektish, and now it's now available for mundane usage. So this is the same thing as the pidyon aben. We give the Kohen, we turn to the Kohen and say, Kohen, you're the one who's the representative of everything that's holy, and you're the one who's been entrusted with the charge of Hashem and the avodas Hashem and everything that stands for, and we give you 5 sloim in order to redeem our firstborn son. And now he's not the property of Hashem, so to speak. And now he's available to he's not hektish anymore. Yeah, of course he's Be'ez Hashem. He's going to be a nice, properly religious young man, right? But he's not going to be hektish anymore. And so that's number 2. You, as it were, buy yourself the right to use it for your own purposes by redeeming it for from its original intent. Its original intent was it's hektish. It's property of Hashem. This third thing, I don't understand it. Third thing, he says, you render it impossible for your use by destroying it. Okay, whatever that's all about. Ah, here comes Alan. Baruch Hashem. Okay. A round of applause for Alan, who's coming in right now.
Yay.
Wow. Alan, he really wants to come and learn. This is what we see. That is Alan. Oh, now he's okay. He's okay. So he's on board. He just doesn't have his video or his thing on. That's okay. Okay, but he's officially registered here. He's officially. Oh, here he is. Hey, Alan.
Here we go.
Baruch Hashem.
Morning, Alan.
Every once in a while. Good morning. Every once in a while it happens. Too often though.
Wow. Wow, we're so happy that you got here.
Alan, look up for a second.
So am
It
I.
wasn't easy.
No? I wonder what he looks like.
Let
Okay.
Raphael see you, Alan.
183.
Ah, brown eyes. Okay.
Number 183.
193, Alan.
193. Okay.
Okay, actually, we're still on the bottom of 192. We're going to read 296 right now. 296. And now he's in the case of immovable property. Immovable property, I guess, means property that you cannot move. So what's that all about?
Real estate.
That's real estate. The real estate. Okay. That's the real stuff. It's always here. It hardly ever gets less valuable. It doesn't wear out. Just gets more and more expensive. So you may as well buy it right now if you don't have.
And they ain't making it anymore.
And there's a limited amount of it. Ah, okay. Right. Well, we could build those. There's plenty of places to continue to build. Okay. Just look at Beit Shemesh. Just keep going. All right. 296, Alan. You are
Getting there.
page 192.
Was that the page I was missing the other day?
Oh,
92, I got it.
you got it?
Yeah. Which number?
Okay. 296 on the bottom.
Okay. In the case of immovable property, namely the soil of a holy land, which, according to the law of Torah, can never pass completely into private property and therefore remains public property. We see a similar dedication to that of Horeb in Caleb, Horeb, to Rumah. Removable property, which of course is capable of unrestricted private ownership, we find its dedication in Bechor Adam and in Bechor Hamor. Both are the same time memorials of deliverance. A Bechor Adam, human, male firstborn, you must, as it were, first buy the right to bring him up on your own by redeeming him. Horeb, Hamor to Horor. The first thing of clean cattle. This has to be given to the Kohen as his property, and he has to offer it up as a shalalim. See section 6. If it is without blemish, or if it had a blemish, he could use it as his own property. Putra Hamor. The first thing of an ass, you must first buy by redeeming the right to use it, or else avoid all possibility of using it by having it killed. A Bechor Adam in
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
You want to talk about that?
No, let's
All right.
yeah, that's what I'm just saying, that's the concept that he said in section 295 at the end, number 3. You could render it impossible for your use by destroying it. Maybe that's what he's referring to. He's referring to the mitzvah Petr Chamor,
All right.
because that's an animal that can't be brought on the mizbeach. It's not a kosher animal. So what do you do with it? So you gotta redeem it. You have to redeem it. That was what we had. We had this in the Gemara in Bava Metzia, the redemption of the chamor by taking a shepsel and using that, giving that to that shepsel given to the Kohen, and then that thereby redeems the chamor, and now you can make use of that chamor. But otherwise, it sounds like that chamor would be the same thing as the kosher animal. It would be asur begizva avoda. It would be forbidden to make mundane usage of it, even though it couldn't be brought on the mizbeach. But it has a certain kedusha to it because it's a bechor. It's a firstborn donkey. So that's in Petr Chamor. Why else would you have to redeem the firstborn donkey unless he's got some type of a kedusha about him that you can't work him and can't shear him, or you don't shear a donkey, but you wouldn't be able to work him, I think. Okay. So this is very interesting what he says over here. I find this very interesting. People know that, when you buy your house in Eretz Yisrael, there's this 90, what is it, the 99-year clause or something like that. You don't really own you don't really own it or something. You've got to go back or something. I don't know. They that's not from the Torah. That's from the Medinat Yisrael. But they did something which they thought had something to do with this mitzvah, with this din of karka in Eretz Yisrael. It can never pass completely into being private property. What happens? We're going to discuss this further in the mitzvah of Yovel and the halachas of Shemitah. Since the land is really it's not private property. That's what Rav Hirsch is saying. The land that you own in Eretz Yisrael is really not yours. It's Hashem's. What about the land in Brooklyn? Oh, that you could own. Even in Brooklyn? No. Yes, you could own land. It's not Kodesh. Has no Kedusha whatsoever. Only in Eretz Yisrael. Not in Brooklyn. And not in Lakewood either, even. Okay. And so this is Rav Hirsch says this is related to the whole idea of pidyon bechoros, of kosher animals as well as non-kosher animals, even. That's the idea of the firstborn, because the land is Hashem's, and truma also the produce that grows on the land in Eretz Yisrael. It's got halachas. Because why? Because it comes from land which is in Eretz Yisrael. So there's a mitzvah of truma, a mitzvah of meiser. It's not capable of, as he says, it's not capable of totally unrestricted private usage for whatever usage that you want to do with it. Okay, that's the idea.
We're out of time.
We're out of time, and that's the main idea. Okay, we're glad that Alan got in, and he was able to read for us. And we say to Meir, have a great day.
Okay, everyone should have a wonderful day.
You too, Mayor.
Thank you.
Rabbi.